I was gone for 1 week. Howdy, American Texan here, and I enjoy to read comic books, perhaps a little too much, as you saw. I took last week, I could not go to the comic shop. I was enjoying family, coming back and recuperating from a very fierce trading card competition and world championship. I just couldn't make it to the comic shop. And even afterwards, even for my comic shop's 40% off Black Friday sale, I could not make it to the shop. So I went today, and I was fully expecting to have a big box from last week and a big box from this week. What I did not expect was to also have so many indies come in the mail, not to my comic shop, but to my doorstep over the couple weeks, and a lot of great consignments. So we're going to go through it. We're going to move a little bit faster than we normally do on this show that I do on Wednesdays, where I go over what I get from my comic shop. A lot of great things from the consignments that come in, as well as the weekly pulls and trades that I find. And then, of course, if there's enough indies, we'll do some what I call true indies, the Kickstarters and crowdfunders and such. So if you want to see more comic content like this, by all means, hit like and subscribe. Let's get into my consignments. My shop still had a bunch of Ice Cream Man card decks. If you don't know, this was a special issue of Ice Cream Man in which they did everything on trading cards. Let's see if I cover my face here. So this is the Mortal Coil Shuffle, and it's an actual comic story, but on a 52 card deck. And rumor has it these are reselling for a lot. So I did manage to go into a live stream where they were doing a 25% consignment sale. They threw this in there, so I got this for like $7.50 or something like that. Also, if you watched the collection video that I put up on Monday, you'll know that I collect challenge coins, and this one came through the shop. This is a Marvel Studios Avengers opening day challenge coin, I believe. I don't know how many are out there, but for end game, I guess if you showed up at midnight or opening day, you got this challenge coin from a special movie theater. I really like that. I thought that was pretty cool. I got a reader copy, what we call a reader beater of JLA Avengers. I don't have a copy. I've actually never read this one, and you can see it is very reader beater on that one. So I got it for $5, but hey, $5 for a full graphic novel story, and especially one as historical as this one, I think is a fantastic get. This was a recommendation from my LCS owner, Hank Johnson Hydra. It kind of looks like Bob Hydra, but a different guy. I don't know if Bob's inspired by this guy. I don't know. But for a couple bucks, my shop owner was like, hey, try this. And I was like, okay, I'll do whatever you say. Not a couple bucks, though, was Batman and Spider-Man. I do want to go back and collect all of the amalgams and the combination, what do you call those, crossovers. So this is one I don't have, Batman and Spider-Man. This one's by J.M. DeMatteis. I'm very excited for this one. I don't get a lot of hardcovers, but I am on a super big Phantom kick, so I got the Phantom here. So this one is Don Newton's Complete The Phantom. This one has stories from issues 67, 68, 70. Why did they skip 69? 71, 73. Why did they skip 72? And 74. And then it's got some extra behind-the-scenes biographical stuff. So very excited to have that one in the back catalog. And those were the consignment finds that I got from my shop. A few trades that came in. We got Hawkeye, the Marvel Premiere Collection version. This is My Life as a Weapon. I believe this is the one where they introduced Kate Bishop. It's supposed to be a pretty classic story. I have not read it. I remember it was a pretty big deal at my comic shop when it came out back in the 2000-somethings. So I'll have the premiere collection of that one. Also, Two Guns. I like the movie. I know the movie was kind of a slop movie, but I like the movie, so I went ahead and got the reprint of the complete comic collection. That's Two Guns by Stephen Grant. And then also releasing today, DC Finest Superman. This is the next volume, I think, The Invisible Luthor. So it says Superman returns along with supporting cast, including the intrepid Lois Lane and the egomaniacal genius Lex Luthor. It's got stories from 1940 to 1941, which I enjoy those Superman stories. So those are the trades for the week. Let's get into the books that were on my pull list. Now, that big old honking stack of books that I got did include my books from last week. I'm not going to go through them, but you can see last week was such a big week. It was already a big week, and then my understanding is DC had a lot of delays that just delayed it to that last week in November. So I didn't get to go to my comic shop last week. These are all the books from last week. I will not be going through that. But let's just say all I'm doing this weekend is reading. Here are my books for the week, and can you believe that I think only that much of the stack is Marvel and DC. Everything else is indies. It's a great time to be an indie reader. Starting with Marvel, just 3 books. Yeah, that whole stack, only 3 books from Marvel. Fantastic Four, which is on its last leg, I think. I said in the last video, I did not care for the last story. I have not cared for Umberto's art, and so, Ramos's art. Umberto's his first name, right? So this is it. If this doesn't really hook me, I'm out, unfortunately. Hulk smash everything. You know, I like dumb, fun stories, and I think that's Ryan North's kind of sweet spot, and so I am going to read this, and I hope to enjoy it. And then finally, Battle World 3. I'm hearing good things about it. I haven't read it because my number 1 still hasn't come in. I ordered a variant that I thought was really cool for number 1, and for some reason, they are just stringing my LCS along. So I haven't read it, but I'm still pulling it. I hope it's going to be good. Those are the only Marvel books for the week. Going into DC, I've got 6 books here, quite a few KO tie-ins. I hope I didn't get a duplicate. I think I did get a duplicate. I'm going to have to take one back because I didn't realize it was in my pull list. I was missing Night Fight when I was checking all my issues, so I went back and got one. Didn't realize I just missed it in my pile. But that happens sometimes when you buy so many books. We've got the All Fight Month Superman versus Captain Atom. I did not actually pull this one. I went and got it off the shelf. I didn't know how the Fight Night books were going to go, so I didn't pull them. I just figured I would just get them off the shelf. So this was the only one that came this week that I thought was interesting. Looks like a DWJ cover as well, but you know, I think it'll be good. And I think this is also written by Williamson, different artists, so we'll see how they do. I've got 2 issues, apparently, of DC KO Night Fight. I enjoyed the first one. The story was interesting. You know, if Batman's going to be sidelined, you know, at least make it an interesting story. And I like the alternate universe they set up where the Robins are kind of like a military school and Gotham is safe, but is it the way that Batman wanted Gotham to be safe? I think that was an interesting one. Adventures of Superman, Book of L. I still have not caught up on the War World Saga book, so I'm not reading this right now because I want to get caught up on those trades from PKJ and then check out the Book of L series that's coming out. Batman number 4. This is one of those, I think it's usually what I experience with Marvel. I like the idea. I don't care for the execution of it. So I think it's interesting that we're talking more about reformation and, you know, criminals. There's more accountability to why the stuff is happening than just the criminals being crazy. But I don't know if like Empathetic Riddler is the one to do it from last issue. So we'll see what happens. This is a variant cover because the main cover didn't make it into my box. So I had to go and grab one off the shelf. This is a variant here. And then Teen Titans Go. You know, let's just be a kid again. Saturday morning cartoons. This one never misses. It's always a joy and a chuckle to read. So that's all the DCs. Now let's take a look at indies. Again, going into indies for the month. Resident Alien. This is issue 4 of 4. And again, this one is, I don't know if I'm going to continue with Resident Alien. This volume has really just dropped off a cliff. And I'm not saying like kind of got bad over time. Like I really enjoyed the Book of Love, but this one, the Book of Life, is kind of more centered around Harry's family, his extended family, than his actual family, you know, the baby he just had with Oz's. So I don't know. It's just kind of, or no, this is Book of Changes, excuse me. You know, this one is kind of meh. Then we got the Circus. Some of these I ordered, but they didn't come in on time. This is the Circus Losing Control. I don't remember too much about it, but I remember thinking, I want to pull that. And same thing with Devil on My Shoulder. A lot of indies. If I like the premise, I will check out the number 1. I think I pulled this mainly because it's written by Kyle Starks, and I like his writing. I like the things he's doing, so I'm going to check this one out. Also today, I think this is just a one-shot Criminal. I'm not sure if this is a reprint or if this is like maybe a comic form of the TV show that they're coming out. I just see Criminal, and I add it to my pull list. Heat Seeker Exposed. I'm behind on this one. I'm a month behind on this one. If you love, don't get cross-eyed on the TNA covers. If you love a good noir story, this is a lot of fun. These are a great read. Man, I'd be telling everyone about these if it didn't have all the cheesecake on the front, kind of ruining the reputation there. But it is a fantastic story. Speed Racer number 5, one of the best pulpy books out. And it's not really, I guess it's not really pulpy, but it's that nostalgic factor. And man, Speed Racer is so good. All the issues that are coming out are so good. I never thought I would have enjoyed car racing and, of course, all the Speed Racer shenanigans in a comic book. But honestly, even that 3 issues, probably my top of the year. We'll see how issue 3 is the Phantom. Super enjoying this one. This one launched me into just let me eat all I can about the Phantom. I really enjoy that character. It's such an interesting, unique character, and I'm glad they brought him back. And they're writing this new one so good, and that kind of narration noir style. A few books that were also delayed, but that came in finally on my list. We got Ferocious. I think this came out 2 weeks ago. Didn't get to check that one out. Got a couple issues of Never Wars. This is like Peter Pan meets Alice in Wonderland. Is that the one? I always confuse my fairy tales, but it's like a mashup of a couple different fairy tales. Which has been really good. And then the final boss, I've heard really good things about this one, so I made sure when it was delayed, I said, hey, I need to get my copy. So they made sure my copy came in. And then the future is, hacker story, plus you can actually go into online and compete in hackathons and stuff that are related to this story, so it's very interesting. And then the last few indies here, we've got some of the more known indies. G.I. Joe, Dreadnought War, number 3, I think. And I really love the story that the covers are telling on this one. So now we've got Destro, his helmet's on the floor, blood's bleeding out. Did his head get chopped off? I don't know. But Duke's, crawling towards him. Very interesting setup. I'm really enjoying this story arc. And then finally, I'm behind on this one. How can I let myself be behind on this one? Rook, Exodus, number 9. Last I read was issue 7, I think, where we got introduced to the arachnid guy. And apparently he's still in play. That cover creeps me out. And those are the indies that I've got to read for the week. So now that we're back on schedule, I will be reading these and reviewing these, and just not even so much reviewing them, just talking about them on the channel. I don't think we need to all be critics and critiques and look at what everyone else is saying. Sometimes you just want to talk and have fun with the hobby. So I will be reviewing these this week on the channel. One more thing though, we got a lot of stuff coming in the mail. Let's take a look at what came in from crowdfunders this last couple weeks. I don't know if I should start with this one, but I will. It might be the coolest one. This is the new Miss Mina that came out. This company, this publisher, I should know their name, but I only know them by Miss Mina and the Midnight Guardians. They make a lot of really cool books. This one came in. It comes with a start here. Comes with a little bookmark. That's like the Dracula bookmark for the story that's happening. I don't want to get spoilered on it, so I'm not going to pull it out just yet. And it came with, if I can pull it out, there we go. It came with a little trading card actually in the top loader. And if you watched my collection video, these are really cool. I'd love to have a full set of these trading cards. And I got a foil Dracula. I don't know if anyone else got a foil Dracula, but that is super cool. And I love the back too. I love the backs of trading cards that have like the stats and the stories and all that. But here's the actual book. So this is Miss Mina and the Midnight Guardians here. A little cheesecakey on the cover, but it's actually a really good, interesting action story there inside of it. And I got the Koa number 93. So that's a great year. I know a lot of folks collect the 90s because that's kind of a birth year. So if you're looking for number 93, let me know and I can trade you. I don't collect those anything specifically. And then we got some swag in the back of the book. All right, some more books that came in. This one was a big box that came in. We've got Per Berg's Hotel Story, and I got all of the books that you could add on to it. So also, let's see here. What is this? Nosferatu, little book there. He's got a very interesting art style. I wouldn't say that I'm a huge fan of it, but I do enjoy that it is a little different. And coming in like clockwork, we've got Worthy Chaos. This is a new one that's kicking off Damnation. This is by Carissa Grant. And again, gold standard when it comes to kickstarting. And then a couple from Frank the Writer. A lot of people don't talk about Frank the Writer. Frankly, not enough. This is Grim, Frank Martin. Frank Martin is Frank the Writer. This is Grim Space. So he takes fairy tales, Grim, and he sets them in a sci-fi space adventure. So these are a lot of fun to read. And so this one is Captain Hook. But it's spelled H-U-K, and so it's the Captain Hook story, but in space. And this one, I can't remember which one this was. It's going to bother me that I can't remember, but it's got that monkey character. So if you like fairy tales and you like twists on sci-fi stuff, I highly recommend these books. These are a lot of fun to read. One more that came in, I can't remember why I backed it. I don't remember anything about the story, and I should. But this is The Silhouette. Sometimes I listen to an interview, and I just like the cut of the writer's jib. So I'm like, hey, I'll check it out. So I just backed the book. This one did come from Zaid Comics, so I don't know if that's Zaid Comics doing it or if they just printed it. But that's The Silhouette. And then also Rise, number 4. If you like really down-to-earth superheroes, like what would it be like if Superman was actually in this universe, in our world? Very enjoyable read. But I will tell you this, when I read number 2, I had to put the book down and I had to walk away because, man, that was a very emotional kick. Something that, I don't know, I hope you take this as the compliment as it is. It hit me in the emotions in a way that only Mark Millar can hit me in the emotions. So kudos to them. Rise number 4. Looking forward to this one. I was going to go on to finally, but I found another book in here. We've got Palace of the Golden Princess. This is an interesting read, usually a little bit outside of my comfort level of what I read, but they have like a 5e adventure. I'm just getting the books, but this is a very interesting book from Pocket Jack Comics. Very fantasy style there, a little cheesecakey. And then lastly, we got some Rippaverse stuff that came in. I finally get my Ripazine number 4. Everyone's already read theirs. I finally got mine because I had to save my coupon. You know, you got the coupon for the misprint and the Zaylin, and I saved it. I didn't want to use it on Ripazine 4, so I waited until I had a larger order. So I ordered this, so that's why they came in together. But we finally got Norfolka. Very excited for Norfolka. Let me get my arm off that cover there. I don't remember which cover this is. Gold, Glorious Death. We got the song with it as well. Love the song. But very excited to read Norfolka. And yes, I did get the album. I did not get the golden album. I don't think this is the golden album. I don't even have a record player, but my dad does. So I'm going to take this over to his house and check it out. I really enjoyed the song. So that'll be a lot of fun to listen to and read. All right, we did it in under 20 minutes. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to talk about these comics that came out and more, like and subscribe to the channel. We don't talk about the writers or the drama or the politics. We just want to talk about the story and have fun with some good comic books that are coming out. Unfortunately for Marvel, it seems fewer than more. With DC, where I'm enjoying it. But man, indies, again, it is a great time to be an indie reader. So if you want to hear my thoughts and see what's inside of all these books, subscribe. I'll have videos coming out in the future, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Adios.